Okay, here we are on part two. And I promise I'm going to try to not say anyway so much. My friend Bob counted all those anyways, and I can't remember what the number was, but it was pretty big. Sorry, it's just a habit. So, here we go. All right, this is right where we left off last time. And looking at these two, you notice one's kind of longer than the other, but that's okay. It's not, nobody looks exactly the same. And we are doing a caricature, even though it might be sort of a semi, what's the darn word I'm looking for? Accurate rendition of the face. It's going to be a caricature. So, let's set this one aside. And to tell you right now, this is the head I'm going to eventually use for the bust part of this demonstration. And by the time we get to working on the full figure, I might be using a different head. Okay? So we'll set this one aside for a moment and look at this one here. Now you'll notice from the top, it's no longer square. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a little detail on this, soften up the basic lines here. Get that neck established. And another thing, the neck doesn't start back here at the back of the head. It's kind of balanced almost in the middle, not quite, but almost in the middle. A lot of carvers make that mistake of just taking it straight up almost, even with the back of the head, and it just looks clunky. Look at a picture when you're carving a head. Just look at the picture. Look at yourself in the mirror and see how your features line up. I have to clean them up as I go along here. That way I don't have to come back and straighten it out later, maybe. There, so now we have his neck going right up to the chin and the back of the skull. We'll take off these sharp corners. Now I know I'm not holding it up to my chest like I told you yesterday, but I'm bracing it against this workbench to keep it from bouncing around out there. Judy's always after me to stop swinging that carving around like you do. So maybe this will help. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed to my blog, I publish these videos on my blog along with a little more description of what we've been doing here. Well, you can subscribe to my YouTube videos by hitting that little red thing over there on the back. And that way you'll be notified when they show up. And you can subscribe to my blog by going there and filling out the little form over there on the right side of the blog post, which is I just put up there this morning. So I'll take these round corners off, or sharp corners off of the nose. Kind of round that off a little. one thing, I'm not as comfortable carving this thing out here where I got it now than back here next to me. All right, right there at the bridge of the nose, we want to cut that down. See, that made a definite change on the shape of the head by doing that. Okay, now on the nose, a piece of paper. On the nose, it's basically a little circle, a smaller circle on each side. So that's where we are right now, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this in like that, cut this in like that, and then give the nose just a little bit of ball, and then we'll have a nostril here. Okay? So it's not straight across like that. It comes at an angle like that, and then you got your nostrils and the little divot down here underneath the nose. Okay? So that's what we're going to do right now. So first off, we're going to indicate the ball on the end of the nose, like that. Then we're going to start to indicate the nostril. Got good shadows today, that's good. Now we're going to we're bringing this line right on down to here. And then we have to stop. You know why? Because if I turned here, I'm going to take part of that off, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to turn it around, get that piece of skin off of there. See, that probably would have been my skin had I not had my carbon protector on there. Now where was I? Turn that around and carve down like that. So then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Make sure we got her lined up as equal to the other one. There we go. Bring it down to the end. Turn it over. And take it out. That one's now. See what's wrong there? This side's a lot smaller than that side. This side is smaller than that side, so we have to correct that. There we go, that helped a lot. I'm back to waving this thing around now. a little large out here on the edge. There, that looks pretty good. Now we're going to take this, we're going to just kind of do a little spin cut here, and another one right here. And see what that did to the side of the nose? It gave it a lot more character, just those two little cuts. And then we'll clean it up a bit. Like that. I'll do the same over here. Spin. Another one here. So we can bring this in a little sharper. Now, for the nostrils. For the nostrils. What I do is I come in here on the side of the ball as it comes down, and I'll just sort of stab that wood like that. Then I take my knife and kind of dipping my blade, not straight down, but just kind of the inward angle. I'm going to take a little bitty chip out of there, just like that. What I'm after here, I'm not after a round hole. I don't want that. That's just going to make my carving look bad. I'm just after that shadow right there. That's enough to indicate that there's an entry there. That's all you need. You don't need a hole. So then I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. Stab it in there. Take the chip out, and bingo, have a nose. Then you can clean it up, round off any square corners that are there. I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to raise that corner just a bit. I'm not complaining. This one can be a little deeper. Much better. Okay. Now, the nose is one of the characteristics on a face that indicate a person's individual character. You have the nose, the eyes, of course, the ears, sometimes, not in this case because they're there, we just can't see them. They're covered up by the hair, so we're not going to worry about that. As a person gets older, the ears aren't as big as they are when the kid is small. I guess I like to think that the older you get, the reason your head seems to get larger thickness-wise, instead of not tall but wider, protruding ears seem to recede. I think it's because of all that knowledge that's built up in your skull over time that just naturally pushes it out. That's what I tell myself. Okay, now we're going to do the mouth. Got the nose done. Like I said, we didn't want to carve away too much of this because we're going to use it. Okay, we could say that's the mouth line right here, lip line, where two lips meet. But that's kind of high, so I'm going to cut that down just a little till I hit a point to where I think it looks best. That's a lot better. Let's put a little curve to it and see what that looks like. There, that's better. I like that curve. Let's look at it this way. See here, we're high on this side over here, so let's cut that side down. There we go. Notice the expression has just changed again. That's what I love seeing when I'm whittling, is watching these things take place. I don't necessarily want that, the look that's on his face right now in this instance, but in another instance I might want to keep that and use that, but we're not going to use that. Now we're back to normal. Okay. This is his lip line here. Here's the line underneath the lip. Let me find an example here. Here's an example. Get rid of that cigarette. See the line underneath his lip? That's what we're after. He hasn't got one up above. Here's that line we're after there. And then we're going to have frown lines, I guess you'd call them, or whatever. It's just muscle, really. Let's carve those in first. So we start up here at the back of the nose, and we just come down. Take that out. You want to use a lot of control here. You don't want your knife blade slipping up and whacking into that nose. So, be careful. Alright, so we got his lip line coming over here. We don't want to take it to that point right there. We want to stop it about right there. Okay? I'm a little low over here, so I'm going to raise that a bit. So what I do is I take my knife again and I just stab it right in there to where the point of that knife is going down into the wood and meet up with that upper line. And then I'll come back here, take that chip out like that. It's not very good with clean chip. Do it again. Then we come over here on the other side and we do the same thing. pencil lines. Clean it up. Kind of wiped out my chip there. And then we're going to take our knife and we're going to go right across, following that pencil line. Meet up with the other line. Now we're going to take a chip out there, take a chip out there. And then we're going to round that lower lip off. And then we're going to take our knife on the upper lip above this line, as close to it as we can get, but not on it. I'm not doing that now, I'm just going to, we're going to spin it up like that. See how that created a ridge across there? You can see the ridge. There, from this way it shows up even more. See it? That's what you want. That's all you need. At least I think that's all you need. That's good enough. All right, now the muscle of the mouth comes down around here. And hooks back in there. See there? Like that. So that's what we'll do now. We'll just lay our knife over like that and come up underneath there. When I get through making these videos, I have to go up at the house and sit down in the recliner and take a breath. It's not as relaxing as when I do it for fun down here. I got a comment on the YouTube video from a lady who said she was working on a area in the face of a carving she was doing, and she hit a spot where I guess the wood was kind of pithy or whatever. There wasn't much strength to it. And things started crumbling. Did I know of any way that could be corrected? About the only thing I could suggest other than just giving up on that piece of wood would be get you a little spray bottle. It's looking pretty good. We're going to carve a little. And fill it with 50% alcohol and 50% water. And spray those areas. That allows your blade to slide in as long as it's sharp. A lot easier than normal. Where am I here? Look good? Critic says yes. Where's my little spray bottle? Run around here. There it is over here. Right here it is. I don't use it very often, but every once in a while I'll get in a spot that I'll need it. And I'll just show you what to do. You spray it on there. It's not going to hurt anything. Let it soak in a while. And getting back to the carving, not the bottle so much. Right here, we're going to take out a chip. And I can tell already that mixture has made it easier to carve. There. See the effect that chip had? It really it strengthened that jaw a lot. So we're going to do the same thing over here. See how easy those chips? They just fly off of there. Now don't immediately go out and take your carving and soak it overnight in a it's looking pretty good. And to finish this area, the lower part of his face, because we're almost done with that, on the cheekbones, I draw a line and I just make a T here. Like that. And laying my knife down, I start out shallow and go deep to the center and then bring it back out. And then I come into the center like that and that. Get that out there. Yeah. And just kind of carry that right down here underneath the chin and lay it out. And you might want to put another line in there. the same thing over here. Start real shallow and then get deep as you go into the middle. And take it out. Just softening up the edges here. I don't think I'll leave those. And the cheekbone comes around. Looks pretty good to me. What do you think? Judy's sending me hand signals. What? 35? Okay. Keeping this video a little short today. Don't want to make it so long that it gets boring. Yes, we'll get to those eyes. People or carvers, for some strange reason, oh, I got to get to those eyes, you know. Well, we'll get to them. So anyway, I think we've come pretty far today, just in the 30 minutes we've been working here. See, he's taking on some character there. I like it. I had my worries about it originally. I thought I'd cut too deep up in here, but I think it's going to look okay. So, until the next time, and as usual, I've lost this cigarette.
Under the
Huh?
head.
Where?
Top head. There.
Oh, there it is. Cigarettes have a tendency. I quit smoking years ago, so cigarettes have a tendency to disappear around here if I can get a hold of them. There we go. He's a sad fella. Put him back over here. Okay, that's going to do it for this video, so I'll talk to you later, but don't forget to subscribe. And if you got a question or something that we've done, put it on the blog. It's easier for me to answer it there than on the YouTube, and I'll certainly try to get an answer to you. Okay, talk to you later.